All right, so I guess we're on take two. If you joined earlier, so for whatever reason, OBS decided to just crash, and I'm not sure why. So that is a technology that I hook up with Restream, which is a software that I use online, but there's a local software on my computer called OBS, and that decided to just crash all of a sudden. Uh, that's the beauty of doing things live, he says sarcastically. Sometimes that kind of thing happens, and there's just not much you can do about it when that happens. So, all right, let's get a little more distance up here. There we go. Let's see. Okay. Now, hopefully the chat is working, and if you're watching today, thanks so much, and sorry if you had to jump back in after getting kicked out. All right, let me see if we can push that part of the neckline up just a little bit. We'll figure out where the sides of the neck are later on. Right in here somewhere. Probably right in there. And we've got a corner happening really pretty high up. Right in there. And it's happening way down here with that earlobe. Okay. All right. I'll use my air rocket a little bit. We've got a little bit of dust collecting a little bit here. It won't be long before we'll have to make a decision on certain things and probably spray this so that we get some tooth back. Believe it or not, we've got quite a bit of buildup now on the paper. And I still need more tooth in certain areas, so we will probably have to spray this. Yeah, we will. I can just tell by the way this glides over some of the paper, which is good news if you're new to this paper and you want something with a lot of tooth, but that you can build up layers very quickly on. This seems to be something that you can do that with. So, So Sergi Man says, I am pairing your live stream with my Harry Potter marathon as well as a portrait I'm working on. OMS on Stonehenge paper. My attention span is all over the place. Sounds like it. Sounds like a lot of fun though. So you're on Stonehenge, so you're in for the long haul, right? So Stonehenge is a very slow paper, but it's very enjoyable. You can get so many details with Stonehenge. Okay. Grab this edge back over here. Making sure I've got something that fairly represents that edge for that cheek right there. I still like to look at this in that smaller thumbnail view. Really does help quite a bit. Okay, we can get some of the details in here. Make sure that I scoot that philtrum over just a little bit. Right in here. Not real worried about the color at this point. Remember, color can come later. And it should be something way outside your area of concern at the moment. Even structure, for the most part. General areas on where things may be, that's your concern at this point in the drawing process. All those other things can come later. Generally, you want to get things sort of in the right spot, and then you'll work on building up and refining over time as you build up the layers. So Sergi Man, again, over on YouTube live stream. Very slow paper indeed, speaking of the Stonehenge, I'm presuming. Nevertheless, the building or the blending capabilities are marvelous. I purchased it alongside the Luminance full set, especially for portrait work. I could not agree with you more. Yeah, very true. Really, any, not necessarily even just portraits, any work on Stonehenge is fabulous. Just such a good paper. If you want colored pencil to really shine and look the best, in my opinion, that it can look, then you're going to choose Stonehenge. You're going to choose something like that in a lot of cases. Not that you can't get the same results on other papers, but there's just something very, very unique about that paper, especially if you're wanting to take the time, spend the time to build up something slowly over time. Then I just think that there's so much that you can do with Stonehenge or any kind of good cotton paper like that. All right, I want to establish that darkest area right in here. There we go. Okay, we'll take a look at it. And make sure I'm not making a bigger deal out of certain things than I need to. So as I start to darken these values, then I want to look around at areas that may need to be darker than what they are now. And I'm always coming back to the overall shape of the eyes. I don't really want to abandon the eyes. I don't want to say, okay, I'm done with the eyes and start just thinking that they're completely done. I think that needs to be just a little bit bigger. There's a little more of an edge out here than what I've done so far. So make sure I create that. So if you're commenting over on Facebook Live and I've not seen it, I apologize. I'm not sure that I'm seeing the Facebook live stream comments. So for some reason my software is doing something a little bit weird this morning, and rather than trying to figure that out and spending hours and hours perhaps, I don't know if it would take that long, but trying to figure it out, I'm not going to. I'm going to just continue drawing instead, and maybe figure it out after the live stream, figure out what may have happened. So, okay, that's looking a little bit better. In the reference, she's looking straight at the viewer, straight at the camera lens, right? And so I need to make sure that I pay attention to the white of the eye, the sclera, to figure out exactly where those eyes are positioned, and that will help with looking straight at the camera. I had it over here, and the pupil, obviously, but I had it incorrect over here on this side, and I think I've corrected that pretty well. It's pretty accurate at this point, accurate enough to go forward. Okay. There we go. All right. Let me take a look here. All right, we're close enough. So I think I can probably, let me look and see before I say that. I can probably move forward. Oh, I didn't realize I'm cutting off part of the chin there. Maybe reposition my board a little bit so you can see it better. That might be better. That might be a little bit better for the to be able to view what we're working on here. Okay. So maybe move out just a little bit. There we go. Okay. So let me look now and just want to evaluate and make sure that that's looking fairly accurate. Okay, so I want to come back in here, work in those mid-range values, I think, just a little bit more before hitting some of the darker values. I do want to suggest a little bit of this neck, though, in here. Okay, that's good enough for right now. All right, yeah, good enough for the moment. Okay, and then I want to look at some of the lighter areas, and I'm trying to decide which pencil. I think I'll go with this one, this lighter pencil rather than, I don't want to use the ivory, I don't think, because I don't want it to be overpowering. I don't want it to be too bright. Some of these lighter tones back in here. And I've got some darker ones up in here as well. Actually, that needs to be quite a bit darker. Whoops. How many times do you do that on your drawings? Oh, hi, Teresa, over on Facebook Live. Thanks for joining. I don't know how many times you do that on your drawing, but I do that quite often, unfortunately, where I will accidentally hit part of my drawing while I'm working on it, or turning a pencil over or something like that. I don't mean to do it, but it just happens. So blend that together a little bit. There we go. Move that around. Okay. I better blow this off. I'm having trouble seeing it. Not sure what I put down. Getting too much crumbles around. Not able to see what it looks like. Okay. Now, I'm more concerned, again, about the overall structure, where the feature is within the relationship to everything else in the composition. So I need to force my eyes to, once again, look at just overall shapes and not be fixated on details. Okay. All right. It really does help looking at the smaller image, though, from the live stream to see where everything is. Very, very helpful. I don't want too much length on the chin. I want to make sure that I, pay attention to that as I progress through the piece. A little bit of length at the beginning is better than not enough. But I think it's pretty accurate at the moment. Just looking up here. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to see everything at the beginning either, which is fine to not be able to see everything. because you'll see it later on as you progress through the piece. And this ear does need to go up just a little bit. There we go. Angle comes down. Okay. And all right. Move this out just a little over here. And move this one in just a little bit over here. There we go. So I need to pay attention to the way the nostrils appear. Okay. Use this lighter one. Yeah, no. Many times people are concerned, or artists are scared that the skin will never be smooth. Oh no, it's looking too rough. The skin. What are you going to do about the skin? How are you ever going to get that smoothed out, looking like actual skin? And that really isn't something that you should worry about at this point. It will look smooth by the time you're done. It's not going to look smooth at the beginning, and that's fine. That's one of those things that comes later on. If I start focusing on something like that and being concerned about something that is details, then I could go 100 miles in and then realize I've got a big structural issue going on. And I don't want to do that. So I want to pay attention to values, and I want to pay attention to overall structure, but I don't want to fixate on details like the smoothness of the skin or anything like that. That will come later. It should come later. Okay. Probably spray that, or blow this off a little bit. Well, let's see how that's looking. All right. So we can go ahead and put in. Oh wow! See, time just flies by when you're doing this, and I'm looking at my watch, and this is the time I need to leave for that appointment. So, all right, this one, we didn't get real far, but we've got a little bit covered. And thanks so much for joining if you're watching the replay. We do this every Monday, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right now, and we will resume this next week at 10 a.m. So thanks so much for joining. Hope you have a great day.